Daniel was born and raised in a small town in Texas. His family lived in an old house, struggling through tough times. Daniel's mother worked as a factory worker, while his father was a truck driver. Although they weren't wealthy, Daniel soon learned that life wasn't always easy. He had to work harder to achieve the things he wanted. During his childhood, Daniel always felt different from other kids. He didn't have expensive toys or luxurious vacations. But one thing he always had was books. For Daniel, books were not just a source of knowledge, but also a way to escape his difficult world. When he entered the University of Texas, Daniel was not wealthy. He didn't have strong connections or the financial means to live comfortably. But one thing Daniel realized early on was the power of the minimalist mindset. He learned how to focus on what was most important and eliminate unnecessary distractions from his life and work. Throughout college, Daniel never wasted time on things that weren't essential. He didn't engage in parties or indulge in time-wasting hobbies. He focused solely on studying and developing his programming skills. To him, each day had only 24 hours, and he had to use them as efficiently as possible. With a minimalist mindset, Daniel didn't just work hard but also worked smart. He learned how to prioritize important tasks, eliminate distractions, and optimize everything around him. One technique Daniel used was the Pomodoro method, where he worked in highly focused intervals, followed by short breaks to recharge. He always kept his workspace neat, with no unnecessary items. In both life and work, Daniel lived by the minimalist principle, keeping only what was truly important. The minimalist mindset in Daniel's daily life wasn't limited to work. He applied this principle to all aspects of his life, from how he ate, how he lived, to how he organized his living space. Daniel never allowed himself to get caught up in temporary pleasures or lavish possessions. He lived in a small, tidy apartment, with simple, unpretentious furniture. Every item in his home served a clear purpose and was carefully selected. Daniel understood that when we live with less, our minds become freer, allowing us to focus on more important things like health, learning, and personal growth. For Daniel, eating was also part of his minimalist lifestyle. He ate simple yet nutritious meals, avoiding fast food or processed foods. Each meal was carefully prepared, but not complicated. This helped him maintain a healthy body without the worry of choosing from countless options every day. Daniel also applied the minimalist mindset to his relationships. He never allowed himself to get entangled in shallow or insincere connections. He only maintained relationships that were genuinely meaningful, where there was support, trust, and mutual respect. Daniel knew that in modern life we often face many social relationships. These relationships can create pressure, even drain our energy, if they aren't suitable. So, he was always mindful of selecting friends who truly understood and shared his values. He was not afraid to walk away from relationships that made him feel stressed, uncomfortable, or didn't foster positive growth. Instead of trying to maintain unhealthy relationships, Daniel focused on close friends with whom he could learn and grow together. Daniel understood that time was the most valuable asset a person could have. Therefore, he always found ways to simplify how he spent his time. He never wasted time on things that didn't add long-term value. One way he simplified his time was by planning his day in detail. Each morning, Daniel spent a few minutes making a list of tasks, ensuring each task had a clear purpose. If a task didn't contribute to his long-term goals, he would remove it from the list. In this way, Daniel always felt that each day had meaning, and he never regretted wasting time on things that didn't matter. Ultimately, Daniel understood that the minimalist mindset wasn't just a formula or a short-term diet. It was a long-term way of life. The minimalist mindset is a choice, a commitment to living a life that is purposeful and effective. With a minimalist mindset, Daniel didn't just work smart, he lived with intention. He didn't let unnecessary things dominate his mind or life. He always remembered that less is more, that this approach to life brings lasting satisfaction and happiness. After many years of hard work and dedication, Daniel received an unexpected call from Google. They had noticed his talent and wanted to offer him a position as a software engineer with a salary of $420,000 per year, even though he was still young. This was a major turning point in his life. Google, one of the world's leading tech companies, had placed their trust in him. But with his minimalist mindset, Daniel didn't allow himself to be swept up in the glitz of such a large salary. He understood that working at Google was a great opportunity, but without maintaining his minimalist mindset, he would easily lose his way. At Google, Daniel continued to live and work according to his minimalist principles. He focused solely on his primary tasks and constantly sought ways to improve and optimize work processes. He never got caught up in pointless debates or unimportant projects. His salary of $420,000 a year did not change the way he saw life. It was just a reward for his efforts. Daniel knew that no matter how successful he became, the minimalist mindset would always be the key to helping him stay focused and achieve his important goals. He always remembered that it was only when we eliminate the unnecessary that we can achieve great things. This story is not just about a man who succeeded thanks to a minimalist mindset, but also a lesson in sticking to principles, persevering toward goals, and always focusing on what truly matters. Daniel is a clear example that sometimes, in order to achieve great things, we just need to do one simple thing: live and work with elegance and minimalism.